Hey guys, welcome back to today's episode. Today we're going to go over our metrics and we're going to identify the win rate and the daily goal I set for myself for the upcoming month of August, or which is now. So to start, we're going to look at the S&P 500. So S&P 500 is down from Friday, as you know, I'm sure most of us realized and already know. And I'm looking at this on the daily chart, so we can see it's a rising wedge, and sometimes I don't have these patterns memorized, so I have to look it up. A rising wedge pattern is technically bearish, so people are expecting a downturn in the market. So if you got puts, good for you. I know I got some puts on some stuff, and then I am pretty confident we'll be in a drawdown for who knows how long. We did gap down, could go down further. The sell volume is still pretty, it's starting to increase. And now you can see MACD is diverging down. So who knows? Last time this happened was in August last year too. People were expecting this. I remember last year it happened and I wasn't sure why. I don't even remember why it happened last year, but look, we fell down pretty hard. But then we recovered within a couple of days. So yeah, we might be in a bit more difficult market, but I can still make money. I'm not worried. Day trading isn't typically too reliant on S&P 500. Not all the time, but it can help with more momentum. But we might see less momentum, but you can still make money. So, all right. So enough of that. We're gonna go over our metrics. So to start, within the last 30 days, this is what this has been set to within the last 30 days, and we're going to see that from July till August, our winning trades are actually 39 and our losing trades are 24. So it's going to put us a total of 63 trades. I have some of my notes here, so I'm looking down. So out of the 63 trades, 39 were green, which puts me at a 61% accuracy, which is not too bad, but I do want my accuracy to be a lot higher, so that way obviously I can win more. My max consecutive wins are 8. So we can see the last week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm approaching that number. So I have to be careful because maybe I might get too cocky. Maybe I might get too confident and might want to size up. But I have to bring the size down. And we'll look into the price and the volume on how I do based on the performance. My max consecutive loss is 4. So obviously this means that it's going to take me, or it has taken me some time for me to break that red and go back to green. So I want to reduce this, but I also want to maintain this consistency. I want to go for green every single day, but if I can maintain the same number of wins every day or every streak and slowly increase it, then my losses will eventually go down as well. So obviously I've known this, that my losers are going to be the longest, but my winners will be the shortest. So that's no brainer. My fees, I don't have that many fees. I'm trading on Thinkorswim, and we're going to do my cash reveal. So right now my cash reveal is $1,827.39. So that's what I'm trading with every single day, day to day. That's all I can use, and obviously I'm still increasing that size. I am paying myself a little bit because I do need some profit, but it's not obviously going to be the entire profit. Otherwise, it's going to, be a slower growth. But I am paying myself a little bit, like 10, 20, 50. It depends on what I do in the month, but I still have to profit at least a little bit. But I do want to still continue growing, and eventually when I have fun money, I'll dump more funds when I feel like it is ready. But I don't feel like I'm ready to put more money on the line. I'm okay with what I have right now, and I'll build up to it when I'm more comfortable. So my largest loss for this month was 431. So this was on that day where I got flushed down almost $300, and I overtraded and I lost more money. So that's why it's 431. So that's obviously a cent that's telling me, okay, you have a big loss day, just leave. If I have enough money, I can't even think about making it up because I'm limited. Why am I even going to take the excess funds that I have left over in the account to trade? So I have to stop. As soon as if I have a big loss like this ever, which we all should be prepared. We're all gonna get a loss at least some point. We just have to walk away for that day, stop the bleeding. Ross always says, stop the bleeding immediately. You just get back up and trade the next day. Don't trade that same day. You just get off and clear your mind. My largest gain for this month was 183, so not too bad. My average winning trade, so it was about $56, and my average loss for this month was 77. Okay, so it's not that bad, but it could be better, like a lot better. So I'm setting my daily goal to be $50. I want it to be an even number. If I can make $50 or more every 5 days, it's gonna be 250, and then it's 250 each week. It's gonna eventually lead up to $1,000 on a month. So that's the goal. So $50 or more. That's the daily goal I want to get. If I can get a cushion within the first trade with that amount or more, that's gonna put me in a really good spot, and I could take a little bit more risk. But since I started the week off good, I have to really keep a really big cushion. Honestly, I'm okay with keeping a big cushion. It's more about my discipline when I'm holding losers. I need to cut the losers as fast as possible. 10 cents, I need to get out. And my entries need to get better. I've been patient within the last couple of days, at least Friday and Thursday. I felt like my trades were a bit more patient than previous trades in this month, or not July, and that definitely paid off. My cumulative P&L, so we can see, well, as I was entering July, boom, I got fried. I got fried beginning July 2nd. I was like, what the hell? And then I recovered, right? I was doing good. I got fried again. I got flushed, but then I recovered in a short amount of time. So my recovery, that's what I realized, and I'm gonna applaud myself for. I've recovered twice. That's obviously not something you want to do too often, because sometimes you won't be able to recover. But the fact that I was able to kind of get back into the seat and driver's seat, then I can confidently increase that P&L more and more. So if I do have a drawdown, I'm gonna have a bigger cushion. My average P&L, so obviously, yeah, this was the largest loss, and then I did trade more that day. I don't think I recorded it. I think I just traded, and then I lost. All right, so performance by the week. It was a Wednesday. I do remember that Wednesday. It was very disappointing. I was disappointed at myself. But Thursdays are seemingly my best days so far, which is odd because Thursdays were my worst day, but now they turned into my best days. But then Wednesdays are like, I don't know. This is just one number that got thrown off from this month. I think if we look at a 60-90 day, then it will be a little bit different. But Thursday was the best days out of this month. Obviously, the first hour of trading, I am, having the best amount of performance. But that doesn't say, I haven't really done much trade at 7 and 8. I wonder why it doesn't say that. Let me see if I add widgets. Oh, I didn't save layout. That makes sense. There we go. Yeah. It was still in edit mode. All right. So, yeah, let's go back to what I was saying with the performance by the day of the week. So, if we look at the 90 days, I guarantee you it's going to be a lot different. The 90-day, where is this at? Yeah, see, so Wednesdays, it's still green, but it definitely brought down by a lot because of that loss. But, hey, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are looking pretty strong. So now I have to get Wednesday up to that same level and just slowly increase that and maintain that consistency. Performance by the hour of the day, 5 a.m., not the best. 4 wait. No. What? Sorry, I'm a little bit thrown off. This should be 4 a.m. for me, and this should be 5 a.m. This is like 3 a.m. for me. I think I'm going based off, the Eastern Standard Time, because that's when, like, the market is open. I'm sorry, I'm thrown off by this, but just a little bit, because I don't really trade anything at 6 a.m., This has to be Eastern Standard Time. Whatever, we'll forget about that. But look, within the last 90 days, look where I started, I was down here. This is May. And it's slowly increasing. Like, this is pretty good. Obviously, it's going to be like up and down. But I want it to be, more just like a curve up. So these bottoms need to obviously get fixed. But hey, this is still really good. I'm proud of myself, looking at it from a bigger picture. Yeah, this month was a little bit shaky. It was a bit volatile, but I was still able to pull through. So let's look at performance by the price. So within $5 and $9 or $10, my performance was actually the best, which was odd because before my performance was a lot better within stocks under $2 and stocks between 2 and 4. But I think this month we saw a lot more stocks within this price range between 5 and 10 that really squeezed up by a lot. So that definitely has to account for this data right here. And who knows, next month, week, or this month, we could see something completely different. Who knows? We'll see what comes up. I'm ready for the surprise. And yeah, we'll see. So performance by the instrument volume, yeah. So obviously when the volume is like not so much, I'm losing. So this is telling me when the volume is a lot higher, I'm going to be making more money. That's a no-brainer as well. You need the volume so that way there can be squeezes, that way there can be price action. If not, then I'm not going to make any money. So anything that's a super low volume like this is not going to make me money. It's not going to work. Performance by instrument movement. So obviously when stocks are more than 10%, I'm going to be making more money. Rarely I'm going to make money when stocks are 2 to 10%, and this is just a total too. So obviously they need to be 10% or higher. That is a no-brainer as well. Okay, so we'll go here and we'll go by price. So within the last 30 days, well, this is overall actually. So we can see that my trades are seemingly better when they're under $2 because I can take more size, but we're going to go here. So I do lose more when I do end up taking more size. I'm winning more when my share size is between 1 and 500. I'm not losing as much. I'm not winning as much when, they're over 1,000. And these are typically like penny stocks, so I do have to be careful with that. Let's see if there's anything else that I need to look at. Obviously, performance by price. Yeah, this is what it was. Not trade distribution by price, but performance by price. So under $2, I am doing pretty good. $2 and $4 seem to be my weak spot, but 5 and 10, I'm doing somewhat better. Anything over 10 could be a little bit tricky sometimes, just because the bid and ask can be pretty wide. So if I buy something at the ask at like $10 and the bid is asking, well, let me do ask at 10.15 and maybe the bid's at 10. That's like 15 cents of a difference. Then you're down $15 if you take 100 share size. So sometimes that can be a bit tricky. So going into this month, one of the first things I'm going to do, be patient with my trading, with my entries. My entries, I feel like I've been shooting, hoping that I'll get filled in at the bottom or at the lowest price possible when it's first starting to squeeze up. But what I actually need to do, what I realize is better than, is to let that volume go up, let it hit that price that it reaches, maybe build that resistance first, let it dip, and I have to identify when is this best to get in for this dip, for the move up, and I have to be patient with those because I feel like, okay, now's a good time, and I feel like it just starts to end up dipping further. So I need to be careful with my execution, with my entries. With my exits, what I want to start doing, I want to take half profit if I can. Sometimes I'm not able to because on Thinkorswim, I can only execute 100 shares right now. If I want to execute a 50 share sell order, I have to manually input that on a pre-market. At the open, you can adjust it however you want, but pre-market it's only traded by 100 share size unless you have DOS Trader, but I don't have that yet, so I'm not worried about that. So if I'm trading more than 100 shares, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell half once I reach the 20 cents or more for profit, and let's see what the other half does. That way I can extend my winners further. That's the second thing. I want to be able to extend my winners further. There have been times where I cut my winners off a little too soon. It's not a bad thing, but I do need to learn how to ride out those winners a lot longer than my losers, because my losers, I'm holding them too long. That's the third thing. 10 cents, you just got to get out. It doesn't matter if it's, if I'm going to pray. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's going to go up, but sometimes it's dropping more than 10 cents and I'm still holding. And like, what am I doing? I have to make that instinctual or else I'm going to get fucked, more times than I could count. And lose more. Someone commented that I don't want to be holding in a larger percent loss downturn. Larger percent. I think I was down like 50% from what he was saying, and he said just to make 15% gain. He said that can hurt me in the long run, and he's right. I have to be careful when I do those holds. So 10 cents. I know it's hard. it's very, very hard to grasp. You're like, you don't want to lose because then you sell and then you're gonna watch it go up. But then again, you'd rather lose $10 than lose $100. I'd rather lose 10 than lose 50. So, or 20 rather than 40 if it's, if I'm trading 200 shares. And the fourth thing, getting my sleep and knowing when I'm feeling tired and lazy. Because there have been days where I'm like, damn, I just want to trade and go back to sleep. But that affects how I trade because then I end up getting rushed. Once I feel that way, I start feeling rushed. So maybe I don't take a trade within the first 30 minutes. I wake up, I need to see how things are moving. But then I also don't want to get FOMO. So I need to just be able to recognize when I'm feeling that way, when I'm feeling lazy. Because when I'm feeling lazy, then I'm not going to want to stay up for long. I want to go back to sleep. Remember, I'm trading at 4 a.m. in the morning in California. So it's pretty early for me. And sometimes I do end up sleeping late. And that's just because of practice. I'd be getting out late. And then I'll come back like around 12, 11. Sometimes I'm only getting like 4 hours of sleep, which is bad. But then I'll try to go back to sleep and get another 2 hours. Then I'll try to take a nap. My sleep schedule's kind of messed up, honestly. But I do what I can. And if I ever get the chance to move out to the east, then my sleep schedule will be a lot better. Okay. So also, what are my guardrails? Well, one of my guardrails are going to be my cash account. That's a guardrail in itself because if I have an account where I'm trading unlimited, then I'm going to want to just take a lot of trades and end up losing more. So that's definitely a really good guardrail. I would say my second guardrail are obviously going to be the no. The 5 criteria is not a guardrail. That's a guarantee. But sometimes I can take trades when 4 out of the 5 criteria of a stock, isn't met. So or is met. Like for example, sometimes things are moving without the news. So if there's no news but there's enough volume and the price is right, the float's good, and it's up on the day, it's gapped up from the previous day, then I might want to take a trade. But I also have to realize when can I do that. I'd rather have enough cushion. Maybe if I have a lot more profit. No, I got to play this safe. I remember I'm trading a cash account. I have to keep the 5 stock selection really strict because then I might end up getting messed up like I did twice this month. And I went up twice. I recovered twice, but that's not always going to happen. So I got to be careful. So I'm looking forward to August. I'm not going to let the sentiment get to me. This is my birthday month. August 17th is my birthday. Thankfully, it's not a trading day because I feel like if it's on a trading day, I might get emotional. But I don't know. I'm about to hit a year in day trading once September hits. That will be my full year in day trading, and then I'll go into like just a quick video. I don't want to make things too long. I don't want people listening to me like talking all the time. I'm not that exciting, but I can be. My setup's a little bit different. My setup's going to change. I'm going to be moving out soon, so my setup will be looking a little bit different. I'm going to also get a third monitor. That third monitor is honestly going to help me out with having the scanner up there because when I have my scanner up, it's on the main computer, but it's also getting in the way of my Charles Schwab. So sometimes I have to click out of that scanner and then type in the stock. When I'd rather have a monitor where it's just the scanner at the top where I can be looking at it and then just type in the stocks. Even that second, it's still enough. You can still miss out on a lot. All it takes is a couple seconds to lose out on a trade. So anything that will help, and I feel like I think it is necessary for myself to get that extra monitor. I'm only working with one monitor right now. Right now, I'm just looking right now at my right monitor. I have let me see if I can show you guys. That's my monitor. This is my chalky milk. But that's my monitor that I'm using to look at while I'm trading. That's how I'm looking at my graphs. I'm looking at the level 2 data on my main laptop right now, which is what I'm looking at directly. So yeah, some more equipment, but I don't have anything like super fancy. It's nothing crazy. I'm just doing what I can with whatever funds I have left or with whatever funds I have available, not what I have left. But yeah, I think I'm pretty minimal for what my day trading setup is, and it's honestly working out. I'm still making money, so I'm not too worried. And then eventually I'll get DOS Trader, so I can, bypass the 100 shares on Charles Schwab and put in more orders eventually when I reach a bigger size. But right now, I'm not going to worry about that. Right now, just got to take it easy with my 100 share positions and go from there. So I'm looking forward for tomorrow, and I'll get some rest. You guys have a good night. Thank you.